Hey, it's a Vanavlog. Fuck it. Why did I park on a noisy fucking road? So stupid. I like the view. I'm right next to a park. And of course, you know, flat of British. You know about Antiquitech. Railings and green areas. So I thought, like, oh, you know, energy or something like that. Anyway, okay. So my last vlog, I was saying about the body, our physical body, and the will. So, like, there's me, and then there's my body, and there's me, behind the mask. That's me. And I suggest that's also you. And I tied it up with tourism. So with a slight hint of the movie Avatar, where a consciousness gets installed into a physical form. And tourism, I said tourism, didn't I? About tourism, my observation of all people and the things they do, and I guess also myself, but unwittingly, everybody seems to be doing a tourist thing. And I don't condone the Bible at all, but it does make a distinction that I remembered from decades ago now, where it said that do not heed the desires of the flesh. And my understanding at the time, and I'm just accessing how I thought about that at the time, now, that the spirit or the consciousness and the body are they're not the same thing. For God calls it the sins of the flesh: lust, greed, and all the rest of them. And apparently, like, if you're like, you know, go to heaven, and obviously you don't have your physical body anymore because it's like dead and cremated or buried or whatever, you will no longer have such desires because they belong to the flesh. I just have to say that, because I just want to make the distinction in your mind visible. But yeah, and I've kind of been analysing it for a couple of weeks now, maybe 3 weeks, And there's been a few things that have bothered me for I don't know how long, not that long, but long enough to be a long time. And one of them is like, for example, there's like a railing to a park to my left, and if you had a man facing towards the park, and I can see his back, and then next to him there was a woman facing the same direction, and they were both fit. I would find the buttocks of the female appealing, and the buttocks, unless it had some kind of bodybuilding form that's admirable, then I would just find the male buttocks to be completely repulsive. And I thought, what makes me, why is it, they're both the buttocks, two pairs of buttocks. Why does one repulse me and one enamors me? Now, why is that? And from the perspective of logic and reasoning, I'm like, I can't work it out. I absolutely cannot work it out. Why is that? Couldn't never find a fucking reason for it. Logic, physics, thinking about light, depths of light, thought about, the adorning of buttocks, how it's presented, all manner of things, and it just defies all logic. And just women's buttocks in general. It's like I'm unwillfully obsessed to look. I could never really understand it until, a couple of weeks ago, and I was thinking, like, now hold on a minute. No, hold on a minute. There's a difference between me and this. And what that is the desire of the flesh. And what that said to me was that, fuck, I'm a schizophrenic. One, shit, I'm a schizophrenic. And then two, thank fuck, I'm not gay. Because like, I know I point to my head. Where is my seat of consciousness? Who knows? It's obviously not really in the body, but co-joined. What was the word? Symbiotic or something? I can't remember. But I thought, yeah, thank fuck I'm not gay. And then, because I'd just be fucking tormented for the rest of my life. And, that would be terrible. I already suffer with a confliction of the persona of this physical form. and its desires, and it's fucking racist. You know, it goes against everything that I am. It goes against everything that I am, being racist. And I've never understood why I'm racist. And I spend my life acting out of racism in a positive way. So if I went to a hotel and there were two concierges there, one was white, one was black, or a receptionist, one was white, one was black, I have to force myself to go, well, it doesn't have to be black, it could be fucking green, you know, this whole fucking thing about, oh, you know, there's a white person, you can talk to them, whatever else is kind of like subhuman, so, you know, they're obviously not going to be in any kind of authority or intelligent or anything like that. It's absolutely abhorrent. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. It doesn't agree with me, you know, and I fucking hate it. I've just always assumed it was me. But then, you know, I'm thinking, like, how am I fighting against myself? If I don't have a racist bone in my body, all my bones are fucking racist in my body, you know? But as to my will, as to my judgment or, you know, perception or value system, I'm just completely not that way inclined. In as much as I'm not gay, I'm homosexual, which fortunately this thing is not gay, it's totally hetero, so thank fuck for that. But, you know, so there is most definitely a divide. I'm not entirely sure that everybody is the same as me, but don't realise, because you've got people that don't have an inner monologue, you know. How is that possible? And if you spoke to somebody that doesn't have an inner monologue about having an inner monologue, they'll look at you and say, like, what's wrong with you? What? How can that be? But I've come to call into question the inner monologue. Is it the inner monologue of the physical body? Or is it considerations of my mind? And another question I've had to ask myself is, who should I be going along with? You know? Who should I be going along with? My body? I say my body. Or my mind? You know, which do I go with? You know? How much time have I got? Hold on, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 30. Half an hour to get home would be 4. 3, 4. Shit, I've only got fucking half an hour. Is that right? Oh, I've only got half an hour. What a cunt. Actually, I might be able to do some Vanavlogs this week, actually, because I think I've got easy work. I think I have. It looks like I have. But you never can be sure. In my line of work. And this all fits into the whole tourism thing. And everything to do with Flat Earth British and all of our discoveries about Antiquitech and everything else. False histories, everything, time frames, the loss of knowledge, the accumulation of bad knowledge, you name it. Everything's all fucking tied up with tourism and that's funny. A two-state solution. Two-state solution. So when it comes to programming, the will of a man or a woman, the will can be programmed. The physical body cannot be programmed. But can be controlled by the will of a man or a woman. Even though the inner feelings and emotions are contrary to that will. And also, so I said to Rudy the other day, I said, this might help you out. Treat your body like a pet. Because he's got 2 dogs. He looks after them very well. In regards to his pets, there's nothing he cannot do for them. He'll do anything. And yeah, his preoccupation is totally with them. And us as mankind have been programmed to be divided from observing our bodies as pets. If you sorry to keep using the Bible, but like Adam and Eve, they were like, I think Adam was put in the garden from outside the garden, and then Eve was yanked out of Adam while he was in the garden. Or did it happen outside of the garden and they got both put in the garden at the same time? I can't remember, doesn't really matter. But the job was to guard the garden. The question is, was Adam and Eve's personas, the wills behind their physical bodies, were they charged with guarding the garden, or guarding a garden via the means of using the physical forms to do the work, to do the gardening, or guarding rather, whatever. See, so you know, from that perspective, that without a physical form, they could not guard a physical garden of God. They couldn't do it, so they needed a physical body to do that. So the form fits the job, fits the purpose, if you see what I mean. So on one extent, they had to guard the garden, and two, they had to use their bodies to guard the garden. They had to understand their bodies, and obviously they would have had to use the garden itself to maintain the physical bodies that they found themselves in to guard the garden. So I'm just saying, you know, I'm redefining your physical disposition, which is where I'm at. And so that's why I say about, you know, treat your body like it's a pet, like that it has needs itself, with, to some degree, that it has its own will, it has its own desires. And in the same way that, you know, in the Bible, so I'm told, that any creature other than man has no soul, but it does have like basic principles and needs and things like that, and some kind of a consciousness. And so therefore you're not allowed to fucking be cruel to animals, infers that there is some form of a consciousness to it. But I'm not condoning the Bible. Or validating it. And so, I think we all struggle in life because we have two battles. We have one with programming, the will, the insertion into our consciousness of lies, mistruths, false identities such as culture and racism. Well, I'm not sure about racism. No, I have been taught racism. Shit, I shouldn't have fucking gone now. Scrap the racism one. I haven't thought enough about that one. As far as I'm concerned, actually no, I'm completely unsure in regards to racism. I'm pretty sure that my mind is not racist, but I'm racist. So it's not my consciousness, it's not my feeling. It's from somewhere else. If I make my mind up about something, that I choose not to like something, that's my choice, and I will choose not to like it. you know, I don't know, fuck, bollocks. I was trying to keep it logical. That's the problem, you know. But I just want to like point out, you know, the two aspects of us. And one of the reasons that I'm actually coming out with this in the first place is because I was thinking about the longevity of mankind, how we're manipulated, and it's continued generation after generation after generation. And what is absolutely necessary for that to continue generation by generation by generation is by short lifespans. So, you know, maybe you get to like 80 years old, at which point you're just starting to actually get a bit savvy about things, and you know, you're kind of realising that everything you've ever been told is complete bullshit. Not soon after, you're dead. So you know, and there's like books, other books, you know, in Buddhism and stuff, and there's books, whatever, you know, and they talk about chakras and I don't go along with all the chakra stuff, but they are pointers to the physical body and its needs, and actually, they say through meditation, trying to listen to your body to tell you what it needs, kind of thing. And apart from a few sects that actually teach that, and as far as I know, it's a minority, the rest of the world aren't taught to think in that way at all, and they actually neglect their body to follow commercialism, greed, money, wealth, fame, whatever, anything but the preservation of the physical body. Now you might say, well, oh, that's a judgment of God. That's a judgment of God. Yeah, you know, he made the will of man. Just think about I mean, you know, like gratification. I mean, gratification. You can't be gratified without a human body. Yeah? They say that self-gratification is a sin. So, you know, in a sense, you've been told to not look after your body because it's self-gratification. Don't overeat. Or don't smoke. And stuff. Actually, it doesn't say don't smoke in the Bible. Well, it might have said it. They removed it. I don't know. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it's there. Maybe it's Aramaic. Maybe it's Old Hebrew, and it's just a word that one of its meanings were lost. And so it's just like glossed over, and they just replace it with the word therefore. Do not smoke. Do not therefore. Yeah, it's easy. Fuck. 15 minutes left. So in my last vlog, I just don't have enough time. I was saying that you need to consume as much as possible. You need to consume as many different things as possible that are edible. So if you go for a walk in a park, you've got an app on your phone, take a picture of it, see if it's edible and it's not poisonous, and then, you know, fucking have a nibble. Just walking your dog, whatever, you know, just fucking take a picture. Is it alright or not? Just fucking take it. Or, you know, if you're a postman and you have to go and knock on people's doors and they've got like a bush or something like that, you know, picture of the bush, is it edible, yes or no, and do that, and just keep going, because by the laws of logic, it absolutely makes sense that a restricted diet is utter fucking stupidity and may result in death. Apparently people in the late 1800s and very early 1900s didn't drink water. Their water intake was fruit or vegetables, fruit and vegetables. And we all know about programming of water, and we all know that our bodies are water. So it's kind of like, if you like, if you don't go around munching all the time, it's like going on the internet with no antivirus or firewalls. So you need to be completely, constantly, you know, doing that. I've got an awful lot of more to say about all of this, but I've only got 12 minutes left. But it is important, because a lot of people are conflicted, can't think clearly, because schizophrenia, there's two wheels in one, two in one, and they're conflicted. It's like an unstoppable force and an immovable object kind of scenario going on, which isn't necessary. Were it necessary, there's always a workaround. There can always be a two-state solution. But the two sides have to get into a conflict, negotiation kind of thing. 11 minutes. On the other hand, I find myself wanting to choose a side, thinking that one of these sides is actually the enemy. I mean, if humanity were just like animals, there would be peace on earth. And there's a story which I tried to fucking recount 4 weeks ago with the missus. I failed. And I said, you know what I mean though? She said, yeah, but you got it wrong. And then she tried to explain it, and she fucking got it wrong as well. But we both know what we meant. And the story goes something along the lines of, you've got two wolves. They're both equal. Which one wins in a fight? And the answer is the one that you feed. Something like that. Yeah. So I'm kind of like there, thinking like, as humanity, are we really just this? But we've been overcome and defeated by intellect, will, by tourism, something inside to use us for greed, for tourism. Is it that? And I'm undecided, but I can see both, which I think is important. Because you can't, I mean, you can, you know, one piece of information isn't enough to conclude. And to ultimately conclude something, you need the ultimate knowledge of all things in consideration of what you're thinking about, and to judge what you think it is or it is not. 9 minutes? No. 8 minutes. I mean, when I do like posts on my page, you know, I ask like peculiar questions. They're based around what I'm talking about now. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, maybe you check a few of those posts, polls, and then see, you know, the questions. I'm just trying to uncover parameters that are hidden from us, from our existence. I mean, as real as anything, to me, is what I can only describe as evil. Or a foreign will to my own, I consider to be evil. You know? Like racism. Why is that causing me problems? I remember when I was a child, I'd been interrogated for hours and made to stand for hours in a corner and constantly questioned around the subject of why do I not do what I'm told to do, and the act of disobedience being a bad thing and being evil for hours. The same question, more or less, but put in different ways. Why do you do it, Lee? Why do you do it? Why do you do that? And I'd always say, I don't know. I don't know why I do it. How can you not know why you don't do it? I don't know why I don't know why I can't do it. You know, and it's like that for hours, hours, hours. For years. And I was scared shitless. And I daren't lie. You know, when I was being interrogated like that, I daren't lie. And I think that's why 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I don't lie, you know. That's not true. 90% of my not devotion. Why is it when you like fucking want to stand with somebody, when you kind of gravitate towards something other than something else? What the fuck is it? Devotion? No, devotion? Devotion? That'll do. 90% of my devotion is just be honest, you know. Yeah. Why did I mention that? No, I mentioned that because a couple of people have said recently that they like my Vanavlogs because I'm just fucking honest. I don't fucking, I just, you know, I'm just not fucking bullshitting. I'm just being me, just being real. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of like I am, really. I do lie. Normally for what I consider to be a good reason. Yeah, I have no fear of 2 minutes. I have no fear of retribution for lying. In fact, I don't really have a moral compass at all, because it just doesn't fit into life as I know it at all. I just don't have a moral compass. I just do what I do. I tend to wish to do no harm. You know, I said that to myself about 3 weeks ago. You know, when I got fucked up with my channel, thinking like I've been dissed by Martin, and I was thinking about changing my channel name, and I was thinking to sort of like change it to duty of care, do no harm, like for comma, duty of care, do no harm. That'd be like the channel name kind of thing, because I thought, yeah, you know, that's a principle I think I can live by. And then within about 3 days, I had murderous intent in my fucking heart. Absolute murderous intent. I just fucking said nothing. I shouldn't have fucking thought that, you know. Anyway, so yeah, yeah. So that's it. I'm out of time. So yeah, I think I'll probably do some more Vanavlogs this week. Yeah. All right, see you later.